You know that version of you that has everything figured out. The one who's going to start that business, hit the gym consistently, wake up at 5 a.m., change their life completely. Yeah, that one. Funny thing is, they exist almost entirely in your head. And somehow, they're thriving there. But in reality, days pass, weeks pass, and nothing really changes. So what's going on here? Why do some people dream so big, yet do absolutely nothing about it? There's actually a hidden psychology behind this, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because this isn't laziness. Not really. It's something deeper. First, there's the fantasy achiever. Picture this. Someone lying in bed, imagining their future success in vivid detail. The interviews, the money, the recognition, they can feel it. And for a moment, it's almost as satisfying as actually doing it. That's the trap. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between vividly imagining success and working toward it. You get a small hit of reward just from thinking about the outcome. Then there's the perfectionist planner. This one looks productive, very productive. They research, they plan, they organize, they wait for the perfect moment. But that moment never comes. Because underneath all that planning is fear. Fear of doing it wrong, fear of failing, fear of not living up to the big dream. So they stay in preparation mode. Forever. It feels safe there. No risk, no judgment, just endless, getting ready. But here's the twist. Perfectionism isn't about high standards. It's about avoiding discomfort. So the dream stays untouched, and therefore, untested. Sound familiar? Another profile, the identity dreamer. This person doesn't just want the dream, they want the identity that comes with it. They like saying, I'm going to be a filmmaker, or, I'm working on something big. It feels good. It sounds impressive. But the actual work, the boring, repetitive, often frustrating work, that part doesn't match the identity. So they stay attached to the idea, without committing to the process. Because once you start doing the work, you risk proving to yourself that you're not as good as you imagined. And that's a hit to the ego most people. Then there's the overwhelmed visionary. Big dreams, huge vision, but no clear path. They see the mountain, but not the steps. So their brain goes into overload. Where do I even start? And instead of picking one small action, they freeze. Not because they don't care, but because the dream feels too big to touch. So they scroll, they distract themselves, they wait for clarity. But clarity rarely comes before action. It comes from action. And here's the uncomfortable truth tying all of this together. People who dream big but do nothing aren't lacking ambition. They're protecting themselves from failure, from disappointment, from reality not matching the fantasy. Because as long as the dream stays in your head, it stays perfect. Untouched, unlimited, safe. But the moment you act on it, it becomes real. And real things can fail. So now the question is, which one are you? The one living in the fantasy? The one stuck in preparation? The one attached to the identity? Or the one overwhelmed by the size of it all? Maybe it's not just one. Maybe it's a mix. And more importantly, what's one small, uncomfortable action you've been avoiding? Because the difference between dreaming and doing isn't motivation. It's tolerance for discomfort. If this hit a little too close, you're not alone. But now you see it. And once you see it, you can start changing it. So tell me, which type felt like you?